Hello, this is Bichelin. How many years has it been? The US has finally lowered its interest rates. Contrary to the expectations of a gradual easing of 25 basis points, they have surprisingly lowered the rate by 50 basis points, which is quite significant. In today's video, we will discuss the concerns many people have about the direction of the market following the interest rate cut. Also, we'll interpret the mess Justin Sun from China has thrown at the rising Bitcoin. Let's begin today's video. Before the interest rate cut announcement in September, I believe everyone is aware that various employment and inflation indicators from July to August showed unstable trends. The overall state of the economic market wasn't exactly in a healthy condition. In such an unstable condition, a bold interest rate cut carried the high possibility of causing the market to react abruptly. Many financial experts, including Goldman Sachs, expected a gradual 25 basis point cut and, in a way, seem to have quietly hoped for it as well. You might think, isn't a rate cut good for the asset market? And you're right. Ultimately, lower interest rates do have a positive impact on the asset market. However, a steep rate cut, especially in an unstable market situation, tends to be met with suspicion and can actually have a negative impact. Let's think about this for a moment. There may be many men here, so imagine it's your own story and try to recall it. Your usually stoic husband suddenly comes home from work with a bouquet of flowers and tells you that he loves you. Feels suspicious, right? You might wonder, is he about to die? Did he cheat? Why is he suddenly acting like this? Of course, if this affection continues steadily, it would lead to an incredibly harmonious family. A sudden change in the husband's behavior feels strange instead. It's the same with interest rates. A sudden steep interest rate cut tends to make the market more cautious rather than excited. In past instances when the US made significant interest rate cuts, I found several occasions. In 1990, during the Gulf War and recession, in 2001, after the dot-com bubble burst, and in 2008 during the global financial crisis. Looking at the market situation at that time, the U.S. stock market's S&P 500 index dropped by an average of 20%, 13%, and 57% respectively. Emerging market bonds, 1990, around 5 to 10% drop. 2001, around 5 to 8% drop. 2007, around 20 to 25% drop. Developed market equities, 1990, around 10 to 15% drop. 2001, around 20 to 30% drop. 2007, around 40 to 50% drop. This is what we observed. Despite the significant interest rate cuts, the asset market still experienced a major crash. The reason the market couldn't rally, despite the favorable news of the interest rate cuts and the speed, a rapid interest rate cut usually occurs during a severe economic crisis or, even if it happens during a calm period, a sudden cut of high-level interest rates. The market starts to think, what's going on? Is this a warning sign? This kind of psychological response kicks in. This time as well, everyone was concerned about a potential recession, and the 0.5% rate cut nearly pushed the market into a state of fear. However, during the FOMC interview held right after the rate decision, Chairman Powell showed confidence in being able to tackle both employment and inflation, which reassured the market, causing it not to react negatively to the 50 basis point cut. On the contrary, the US base rate, lowered from 5.5% to 5%, is being interpreted not as a shift from neutral to easing, but rather from tightening to neutral. What does this mean? Instead of thinking, everything was fine, but won't a 50 basis point cut cause problems? It seems the market is interpreting it as, things were already looking bad, but with a 50 basis point cut, now we can finally catch a breather. So to summarize, in the past, when interest rates were drastically cut, the market often collapsed. However, this time, after maintaining high rates for a prolonged period, the 50 basis point cut is not being interpreted as a disastrous move. Rather, it's seen as providing some much-needed relief. In fact, what I, along with the members of our community, were most concerned about was the interest rate decisions of the Bank of England and the Bank of Japan, which were to be announced following the US. Even though we tried to reassure ourselves that the 50 basis point cut was okay, we were still very anxious, knowing that if strong nations like the UK or Japan blindsided us, the situation could turn bad again. Fortunately, both the UK and Japan decided to hold their rates, so it feels like we've passed a critical moment. So, what should we focus on from now? Although the 50 base pair cut was initially seen as bad news, we are currently reassured by Powell's confidence. Now it's time to focus on whether that confidence is truly well-founded as we enter a period of verification. In early October, key indicators such as the manufacturing and service sector indices, along with unemployment figures, will be released during the first week. At that point, the market could reveal another major direction. While the much-anticipated interest rate situation has been temporarily resolved, I've recently come across some posts that are starting to give off a bad smell from various places. It all starts with CBBTC CBBTC, which has sparked a conspiracy theory. To summarize the situation, it goes like this. Coinbase and BlackRock have teamed up, with BlackRock manipulating Coinbase's books, freely using customers' funds as they wish. Meanwhile, they are pretending to support Bitcoin through the Bitcoin ETF, but behind the scenes they are betting on shorts, downward trades, in the futures market, profiting from the market's collapse. While the content is quite provocative, it sounds a bit far-fetched. So I decided to dig into the situation. Here's how it all started. Justin Sun, the founder of Tron and the owner of Huobi, a Chinese exchange, began criticizing Coinbase's newly announced CBBTC. Justin Sun pointed out that CBBTC has not undergone proper auditing and is a non-transparent project that tarnishes the Bitcoin ecosystem and causes problems. What is he talking about? Now, this issue could have a significant impact on the Bitcoin market in the near future, so pay close attention from here on. First, we need to understand what CBBTC is in relation to this issue. What is CBBTC? It's like a Bitcoin check issued by Coinbase. When we have $10 million in our bank account, we can't withdraw all $10 million in cash and carry it around, so we use something called a check, right? Checking that I have $10 million in my bank account and using something like a check as proof that I own $10 million, CBBTC works in a similar way. If you've deposited one Bitcoin with Coinbase, you can receive one CBBTC in return. So, what can you do with this one CBBTC? It can be used as currency to participate in various projects across the crypto ecosystem. Especially in Coinbase's next-generation network, base CBBTC can be used as currency for various projects like NFTs, memes, and games. For someone who has invested a lot of money in Bitcoin but doesn't want to sell it, yet still wants to try other investments, they can safely store their Bitcoin with Coinbase, exchange it for CBBTC, and use it to explore new opportunities. It's like this. You go to a casino theme park, deposit your cash, and exchange it for chips. Inside the park, you can buy food, coffee, and play games. If you win money, you can get all your deposited cash back, and if you lose, you just redeem the remaining chips for cash, right? Coinbase equals casino land, cash equals Bitcoin, casino chips equals CBBTC. So what exactly did Justin Sun criticize? Hey Coinbase, we don't even know how much real cash you have in your casino land. Didn't you issue more chips than the money you actually have? Are you secretly giving free chips to BlackRock, teaming up with them? That's the kind of accusation Justin Sun made. Of course, it's not an impossible scenario, it's something that can definitely be questioned. However, as of September 2024, BlackRock, the world's largest asset management company, manages an enormous amount of $1.4 trillion and took charge of bond asset management for the Federal Reserve during the pandemic, possessing both power and reputation. The suspicion is that Coinbase was playing games with small change. Of course, BlackRock does hold a significant stake in Coinbase, but this feels more like a baseless, let's see if it sticks kind of criticism. It's like accusing Howard Schultz, the chairman of Starbucks, of going to Starbucks and getting extra shots or a size upgrade without paying. Yeah, well, anyway. Justin Sun from China made these accusations, and in response, Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong immediately stated that they are adhering to industry standards and are regularly audited by Deloitte, so there is no issue. Of course, the Deloitte mentioned here is not a cryptocurrency-specific auditing firm, but rather an organization that handles audits for NASDAQ-listed companies like Coinbase, so there's room for doubt since their focus is a bit different. However, the claims that BlackRock use this to manipulate the market, or that Coinbase's CBBTC will cause chaos in the cryptocurrency market, seem a bit exaggerated. The reason Justin Sun's criticism lacks weight lies in his recent actions. Earlier, when I explained CBBTC, I compared Coinbase to a casino land, Bitcoin to cash, and CBBTC to casino chips. This concept has actually existed for a long time under the name WBTC. It wasn't Coinbase, but a company called BitGo that played the role of the casino. Despite numerous crypto market crises, like the Luna coin and FTX incidents, BitGo didn't go bankrupt and continued to operate steadily. BitGo is a US-based company, but it recently transferred its stake to Bichelin Global, a Hong Kong-based company. Yes, BitGlobal's official website blocks access from certain countries like Korea, the US, and Canada. It's that kind of place. Anyway, Justin Sun now holds the management rights of the company that runs WBTC, which is very similar to Coinbase's CBBTC, and seems to be plotting something. At the same time, Coinbase, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, has stepped forward to start a similar business, so it's clear that he feels the need to push back. Moreover, Coinbase is the asset verification institution for the US Bitcoin Spot ETF, and they are accumulating a huge amount of Bitcoin. If these Bitcoins are converted into CBBTC and flow into the Base network that Coinbase is preparing, Base will rapidly grow in activity. This would pose a threat to Justin Sun's Tron and Binance's BNB from China, so from Justin Sun's perspective, this is a major setback. To summarize, US Coinbase is pushing a project called CBBTC, and coincidentally, that project overlaps with the business that Justin Sun of China's Huobi recently acquired. If Coinbase's CBBTC succeeds, it could endanger Justin Sun's business in Binance in China, leading him to criticize Coinbase and BlackRock. In summary, if Coinbase's CBBTC successfully spreads in the market, it wouldn't just threaten the business Justin Sun recently acquired at China's Huobi, but also negatively impact the Tron network he founded, as well as the Binance BNB network. It seems Justin Sun's public criticism stems from this concern. So to summarize this issue, what is the key takeaway for us individual investors? Seeing the fierce conflict between representatives from the US and China over the activation of the market using Bitcoin, it's clear that Bitcoin isn't just a fleeting summer night's dream. The fact that Coinbase in the US has developed the Base network, and there are movements to counter it, suggests that the Base network could bring a fresh breeze to the cryptocurrency market in the future. The cryptocurrency market is already filled with the scent of American influence, led by Solana, and now with the introduction of the next generation Base network, it seems there will be even more opportunities to profit in this space. These are the 3 investment points you can take away. Wow, the character count is already nearing 5,000. While we have a moment, let me share an interesting piece of data with you. In my last video, 79% of the viewers were male, 21% were female. The last video garnered 26,000 views. Out of those, 15,000 were return viewers. Of the 26,000 viewers, 43% were subscribers. 57% were viewers who didn't subscribe. I made a long plea to remember to hit the subscribe button. Yes, if you subscribe, I'll be more motivated to talk more. Just a little joke aside. So interest rates have been cut by 50 basis points. Bitcoin has risen considerably, and while Justin Sun is criticizing Coinbase and BlackRock, there are no major scratches on the surface. Negative and positive news often come out simultaneously, right? Let's take a look at the positive news that has been overshadowed by the interest rate updates. There's news that the number of monthly active addresses on Solana has surpassed 75 million. I've compared layer-based platform coins like Solana and Ethereum to a department store before, right? The number of active addresses is akin to the number of people coming and going in that department store. Whether they are customers or merchants, the fact that there have been 75 million liquidity customers recently is a very positive sign. Next, venture capital firm Dragonfly is currently raising its 4th fund. The size is $500 million. They have already completed the fundraising for about half, with $250 million raised so far. For those who may not know about Dragonfly Capital, it's a well-known US-based investment firm that has invested early in numerous coin projects such as Polygon, Near Protocol, Avalanche, Aave, 1inch, and Aptos, achieving remarkable success. The fact that Dragonfly, known for its success with every investment, is loading up another $500 million suggests that they are preparing for a confident bet, indicating that another boom in the coin market may be on the horizon. This can be interpreted as good news. For those who want to track the coins invested in by Dragonfly and receive updates, you can get the information from the Telegram group linked in the pinned comment. As I review the news, I feel that if this upward momentum continues until I upload my next video, there might be a surge for altcoins, right? If the wave of increases continues until my next video upload, I'll create a solid episode focusing on the top 3 altcoin theme sectors that I'm keeping an eye on. Now I'll summarize the content of today's video. Instead of the anticipated gradual 25 basis point cut, a 50 basis point reduction was announced, but the market is heating up due to Chairman Powell's ambitious promise to tackle both employment and inflation. The joy may be short-lived, as we will receive the first report card from the employment-related indicators set to be released in early October. Justin Sun from China's Huobi is attacking Coinbase's CBBTC, casting shade on U.S. institutions, including BlackRock. However, after recently acquiring ByT Global, this appears to be a smear campaign against a competitor that stands in the way of his business plans. As CBBTC becomes active, if Coinbase's ambitious Base network also gains traction, we can anticipate a second season of exchange-driven bull markets, similar to the past surge of Binance's BNB. Solana has surpassed 75 million new active addresses, enjoying the best of times for platform coins, with this record being broken daily. Global Tier 1 venture capital firm Dragonfly is currently raising its 4th fund, with a size of approximately $484 million US. Considering the successful track record of projects they've managed, the fact that they are loading up this $484 million USD suggests that the potential for another bull market is still strong. Anyone can convey heavy topics in a complicated way. Instead of trying to sound knowledgeable, I strive to use language that resonates with many people. I assure you, the subscribe button you click today will be the most valuable subscription in your YouTube journey. That's it for today's video. I'll see you in the chat room until the next video upload. Thank you.